Ladies and gentlemen, husbands and wives, couples who are fighting for something beautiful. Today I want to speak directly to the quiet places of your heart. To the areas of your marriage that rarely make it into public conversation. The spaces where love is either strengthened or silently starved. Today, let's talk about emotional intimacy versus physical intimacy, and ask the hard, honest question. In a marriage, which one matters more? And maybe even more importantly, why does it sometimes feel like one is missing, even when the other is present? This isn't just a topic for counselors, or therapists, or relationship coaches. This is a topic for you, because this is about the heartbeat of your marriage. This is about the bond you share, not just the one your neighbors see, or the one you post on social media, but the one that belongs to the two of you alone. So let's dive in. The illusion of good enough. Many couples unknowingly live with a silent assumption. If we're still physically close, we must be okay. Or the opposite. If we barely touch each other anymore, something must be terribly wrong. But marriage is deeper than that. Intimacy isn't just about what happens in the bedroom, it's about what happens in the living room, the kitchen, the car, the spaces between words, the silence before sleep. The truth is this: you can be physically close yet emotionally miles apart. And you can be emotionally connected even during seasons where physical intimacy is limited. So when people ask, which matters more? The answer isn't simple, but the journey to understanding it is worth every step. What emotional intimacy really is. Emotional intimacy is the quiet knowing between two people. It is the ability to say, I trust you with who I really am. It's the courage to be vulnerable. The safety to be honest. The comfort to be yourself. And the freedom to express your fears without being judged. Emotional intimacy is built in moments that do not look grand. The late-night conversation after an argument. The hand squeezed during a stressful day. The apology whispered with sincerity. The, how was your day? Asked with genuine interest. The comfort found in silence when words are too heavy. Emotional intimacy is the bond that tells you, you are not alone in this life. I see you. I hear you. I choose you, again and again. It is deeply spiritual. It is profoundly relational. And it is absolutely essential. Because emotional intimacy is what makes a marriage a union, not a roommate agreement. What physical intimacy really is. Physical intimacy is the expression of love through touch. It is the celebration of connection through the body. An expression meant to reflect a deeper emotional bond. But physical intimacy is not just sex. It includes a hug that melts tension. A kiss given with presence, not distraction. A hand intertwined with another hand. A head rested on a shoulder. A partner who pulls you close instead of turning away. Physical intimacy is the language of the body that says, I belong with you, and you belong with me. It is the rhythm of two souls meeting in a physical space. It is important, deeply important. It strengthens trust, reduces stress, and reinforces the bond. But physical intimacy without emotional intimacy is like a flame without fuel. Bright for a moment but unable to last. Emotional intimacy builds the foundation, physical intimacy strengthens it. Picture a house. The emotional connection is the foundation. The physical connection is the beautiful architecture, the decor, the warmth. You can build a stunning home, but if the foundation is cracked, everything collapses. Emotional intimacy is the why. Physical intimacy is the how. One is the root, the other is the flower. You need both. But the flower cannot survive if the root is dying. Why emotional intimacy often fades first. Most marriages don't lose physical intimacy overnight. That's usually the symptom. The illness is emotional disconnection. Emotional intimacy fades when conversations become transactional. Phones replace eye contact. Busy schedules replace meaningful moments. Stress becomes louder than affection. Hurt goes unspoken. Apologies remain unoffered. Forgiveness is delayed. Resentment quietly accumulates. When emotional intimacy weakens, the body follows. Physical closeness becomes harder, less natural, sometimes even uncomfortable. And that's when couples begin asking, what happened to us? But the truth is, they drifted emotionally long before they drifted physically. Why physical intimacy matters more than people admit. Now hear this clearly. Physical intimacy is not a luxury. It's not optional. It's not something you outgrow when you've been married a long time. It is a critical part of marital health. Physical intimacy deepens emotional bonding. releases oxytocin, building trust, enhances moods and reduces stress, creates a private world only the two of you share, acts as a reset button during conflict, affirms attraction, desire, and commitment. It is one of the ways marriage distinguishes itself from all other relationships. But here's the catch. Physical intimacy thrives on emotional intimacy. Without emotional connection, physical closeness can feel like a chore. With emotional connection, physical closeness becomes a joyful expression of love. The symbiosis, one without the other feels incomplete. Emotional intimacy without physical intimacy becomes a friendship, a partnership, a supportive companionship, all wonderful things, but not the fullness of marriage. Physical intimacy without emotional intimacy becomes a transaction, a routine, a temporary escape, a physical act lacking soul. Both together create something sacred, a love that is seen and felt, a connection that is spiritual and physical, a bond that withstands storms because it is rooted and reinforced. The real question, which one comes first? Many couples argue about which intimacy should lead the way. Some say, we can't be close physically until we connect emotionally. Others say, we feel emotionally disconnected because we're not close physically. So who is right? Here is the truth. There is no intimacy without initiative. And the healthiest marriages are the ones where both partners take turns leading. Sometimes emotional intimacy must come first. During conflict, during recovery from hurt, during stressful seasons, when a spouse feels unseen or unappreciated. Other times physical intimacy must come first. When stress has numbed emotions. When life has been too busy for meaningful conversations. When closeness can break down emotional walls. When touch can speak louder than words. The real answer is not that one is more important, it's that both matter, but not always in equal measure at every moment. Marriage requires the wisdom to know which one your partner needs most right now. A marriage without emotional intimacy. A marriage lacking emotional intimacy becomes silent before it becomes broken. It doesn't always look dramatic. It starts subtly. Less laughter, less curiosity about each other, more assumptions, more interruptions, more walls, less tenderness. And eventually, two people can live together yet feel emotionally orphaned. You cannot touch someone's body while ignoring their heart and expect the marriage to flourish. You cannot ask for physical closeness while withholding emotional warmth. Emotional intimacy is the reassurance that says, I don't just want your body, I want your soul, your thoughts, your fears, your dreams. Without that reassurance, physical intimacy loses its meaning. A marriage without physical intimacy. A marriage lacking physical intimacy often becomes fragile. Not because sex is everything, but because the absence of physical closeness sends a message. You are not wanted. You are not desired. We are not connected. And those messages are painful. They create insecurity, resentment, loneliness. Physical intimacy isn't just about desire. It's about belonging. It's saying, I choose you not only with my heart, but with my body. When that reassurance disappears, emotional intimacy suffers too. The hard truth, most couples are not missing intimacy, they are missing safety. Intimacy, whether emotional or physical, cannot exist without safety. Not just physical safety, emotional safety. Your partner must feel safe to be vulnerable. Safe to be imperfect. Safe to express desires. Safe to say no. Safe to initiate. Safe to fail. Safe to try again. When safety is present, intimacy grows. When safety is absent, intimacy dies. So ask yourself, am I someone my partner feels safe with, emotionally and physically? That question alone can transform a marriage. Rebuilding emotional intimacy. If emotional intimacy has weakened, rebuilding it does not require grand gestures. It requires consistency. Start with 1. Honest conversations. Not confrontations, conversations. 2. Real listening. Not listening to respond, but listening to understand. 3. Small acts of kindness. Notes, hugs, help with chores, a soft tone. 4. Curiosity. Ask your partner questions you stopped asking. What's been on your mind lately? What's stressing you? What's something you wish I understood? 5. Vulnerability. Open up about your own feelings. Led by example. 6. Appreciation. Speak gratitude out loud, often. 7. Quality time. Phones down, eyes up, hearts open. Emotional intimacy grows through intentional presence. Rebuilding physical intimacy. Rebuilding physical intimacy requires gentleness. Start with 1. Non-sexual touch. Hugs, hand-holding, sitting close. 2. Affectionate words. Tell your partner they're attractive, desired, loved. 3. Creating comfort. Make the environment peaceful, less pressure, less expectation. 4. Patience. Healing takes time. Rushing destroys progress. 5. Initiation from both sides. Not always the same person, balance matters. 6. Presence during intimacy. Not distracted, not rushed, fully there, fully connected. Physical intimacy returns when emotional safety is restored and tenderness is revived. The deepest truth: you don't choose which matters more, your actions show it. You can say emotional intimacy matters. But if you never open up, your actions say otherwise. You can say physical intimacy matters. But if you never reach for your partner, your actions say otherwise. In marriage, your actions speak louder than your promises. Every day, you choose which type of intimacy you are nurturing or neglecting. And whichever you nurture grows. Whichever you ignore withers. The beautiful answer: one doesn't replace the other. Emotional intimacy is not a substitute for physical intimacy. Physical intimacy is not a substitute for emotional intimacy. They are two parts of one whole. Two instruments playing one symphony. Two wings of the same bird. Try flying with only one wing. You will survive, but you will not soar. Marriage is meant to soar. So, which matters more? If you were hoping for a one-word answer, here it is. Connection. Because connection is the bridge that carries both emotional and physical intimacy. Connection is the heartbeat. Connection is the root. Connection is the lamp that lights both pathways. But if forced to choose, if we had to pick the intimacy that keeps a marriage alive during storms, it is emotional intimacy that sustains the soul. Because emotional intimacy is what remains even when bodies grow older, when seasons change, when illness strikes, when physical ability fluctuates. Emotional intimacy is what keeps two souls intertwined even when physical expression is impossible. But physical intimacy, it breathes passion into emotional connection. It strengthens it. It renews it. It makes love feel alive, present, embodied. One is oxygen. One is fire. Together, they create life. Fight for both. Your marriage deserves both. The depth of emotional intimacy and the warmth of physical closeness. Fight for the conversations. Fight for the connection. Fight for the touch. Fight for the laughter. Fight for the softness. Fight for the marriage you both dream of. Because marriage is not held together by chance. It is held together by two people who choose, daily, to nurture intimacy in every form. So don't settle for halfway. Don't settle for surviving. Don't settle for good enough. Choose intimacy. Choose vulnerability. Choose tenderness. Choose passion. Choose safety. Choose each other. Because when emotional intimacy and physical intimacy work together, marriage becomes not just a relationship, but a home. Not just a partnership, but a sanctuary. Not just two people living together, but two souls growing together. And that is the kind of love worth fighting for.